our flaws are making us human. Anyone in the audience not human? Or anyone without flaws? My 14 years of marriage went for a toss in November 2016. I was completely shattered and going through a painful phase of my life. The separation from my beautiful daughters lost my hope in life. To overcome this, I wrote my first book, Iron Man, and I did November 2018, Iron Man, 226 kilometers, swim, bike, and running in less than 15 hours. But my pain inside didn't find solace. I decided to go for Mount Everest itself. This is the time I met Marjan, my friend, my best friend, now my wife. I told my wish to go for Everest. She didn't stop me. She said, "You need this to clear the baggage." She dropped me to the airport. I landed in Everest Base Camp, 5,300 meters elevation in April 2nd week. This is the spring season, the best time to climb Everest. But there was a problem. My colleagues, all the climbers, my teammates, all did several courses and had prior experiences as well. But myself, neither attended any courses, nor have any 5,000 meter or 8,000 meters elevation climb experience. I could see their facial expressions. An Ironman on Everest? This is suicidal because the game here is completely different. This is high altitude game. I decided not to discuss anymore. They keep discussing or sharing their prior experience. I was no clue what to do next. This is the time a kind soul crossed my path. Ali Shedpara, a professional climber. I met him first at Kathmandu equipment shop. Always a captivating smile on his face. He reminded me, your childhood experiences of climbing coconut trees and mountains and going to your school daily, cycling or walking 10 kilometers. And later when you were in the campus, you were Shaolin Kung Fu, martial art, those skills. And recently, the marathon and Ironman, the triathlon experience. And more than that, the fire inside you will take you to the expedition. The next step was to get along with the Sherpa. They introduced me to the Sherpa. He did the basic training, how to walk on the ice, how to ascend, how to descend, how to use the equipment, and also briefed the basic do's and don'ts. What are the common mistakes the climbers make? That interaction, that training built the rapport between us, the team camaraderie. This is going to help in the expedition. The next step was to go for climatization, going all the way to Camp 2, passing all the crevasses, through the ladders. These are the moving ice blocks, very dangerous area, and then stay 1 or 2 nights in Camp 1 and Camp 2, then come back all the way to the base camp. During this process, your grit, your endurance, your skills, mental toughness, all will be tested. This itself will decide who are all fit for the final summit. Many of my teammates dropped during this process itself. Some got AMS, acute mountain sickness. Some had fear of crossing the crevasses. And some couldn't have that endurance to go for 14, 15 hours continuous climb all the way to Camp 1. We were waiting for the best climate window to go for the final summit push. On May 11, we started our final summit push climb from the base camp. On 16th morning, Everest turned to be a battlefield. My Sherpa gave me the first shock. He was completely tired, exhausted, and sick. He decided to quit the expedition and go back to base camp. He told me, you can either join me or take the decision. He was my hero until that time. He was the person motivating me. He was keep telling me, keep going, one step at a time. And now the hero itself is saying, the game is over. I stared at him. Maybe he understood my body language, my thought process. He gave me another option. He said, I can arrange another Sherpa if you would like to continue. I looked up. I could see the climbers, the head torches leading all the way to the top. I said, yes, I would like to continue. He arranged another Sherpa. The another Sherpa joined. He speaks only Nepali. He don't speak Hindi or English. Our communication was completely a disaster. But however, he appeared to be a savior, the jinn. He was very fast and he kept pushing me. He was running through the edges. On 16th, 10 a.m., we reached the summit point, 8,848 meters elevation, the tallest point on Earth, completely exhausted. I should say, Everest was kind enough to allow me to stand tall on Everest, on top of it. We human beings are so tiny in front of those majestic mountains or in front of those creation, the Creator. My Ironman in 2018, the success, and now Everest proved to myself anything is possible. It's all about perseverance and persistence. Immediately, suddenly, the storm kicked in. We rushed down. After the balcony area, in the process, my Sherpa left me alone. My oxygen depleted. The snow covered. There was no visibility. I was tired. I sat. Then I see the snow is covering me. I tried to stand and walk or descend few steps. I was exhausted, sat down again. The process continued. I realized I am walking to death. It's true. When we die, when we see the death in front of us, whole the life rewinds in your brain. I saw all the milestones, what I have gone through from birth until that time. Maybe by the prayers of good hearts, kind hearts, a different thought suddenly kicked in. The stories of hope and miraculous survivals. The people fought with hope, those who stuck either in desert or the sea. They didn't accept death. I asked myself, why should I accept death? I stood up, start moving. Maybe another 4 or 5 hours of descending, I might reach in Camp 4. I threw my empty cylinder, the gas cylinder, the oxygen cylinder, to make me light. Also, I threw my the heavy gloves so that the descent will be faster. Few hours later, the help came. I saw some people, they are going all the way up to rescue some team members. Seeing my situation, they communicated to the base camp, and my Sherpa came, and he took me to Camp 4. We stayed one night there, and then we went to Camp 2 next day. From there, airlifted to Kathmandu hospital, stayed few nights there, and rested well, reached home safely. During that expedition, 11 people lost life. That was the highest number recorded in 1 year until that year. 2 teammates, Ravi and the Irish professor, lost their lives from the own team. I was in a complete dilemma, whether the expedition was a success or a disaster. That's the time I remember my good friend Ali Satpara said his words. At 8,000 and above, at the death zone, everyone should be their own. You should not expect anything from anyone. Everyone is fighting their own life. Never play victim game. Take ownership. My dear young generation, these are all the flaws we carry. What's life without imperfections? These are all the mountains we carry within. Conquer the mountain within to conquer the mountain outside. Thank you.